They tell you coming home is the easy part. They're wrong about that too. My name is David Chen, and I've been back from Iraq for 3 years now. 3 years of trying to figure out how to be a civilian again. 3 years of failing at it. The morning alarm goes off at 0500 hours. Old habits. I still can't shake the military time, even though I haven't worn a uniform in over 1,000 days. I count everything in days now. Days since I left Fallujah. Days since I've had a real job. Days since Sarah looked at me the way she used to. I sit on the edge of my bed, staring at the rejection email on my phone. Thank you for your interest in the position. We've decided to move forward with other candidates. That's number 37. 37 rejections in 8 months. You're overqualified, they say. Your leadership experience is impressive, but we're looking for someone with more corporate experience. What they don't say is that they're scared. Scared of the guy who spent 4 years in a war zone. Scared of what I might have seen, what I might have done. They're not wrong to be scared. My apartment is a studio in the worst part of town. 700 square feet of everything I own now. It's a far cry from the house Sarah and I used to share. The house with the white picket fence and the garden she loved so much. The house I lost when I couldn't make the mortgage payments. I walked to the kitchen and opened the refrigerator. 2 eggs, expired milk, and a 6-pack of beer. The breakfast of champions, or failures. I'm not sure which category I fall into anymore. The coffee maker gurgles to life, and I check my bank account on my phone. $237. That's what 4 years of military service, a Bronze Star, and a Purple Heart are worth in the civilian world. $237 and counting down. I should be getting ready for another job interview. Instead, I'm sitting here, thinking about Rodriguez. Always thinking about Rodriguez. Sergeant Miguel Rodriguez. Best friend I ever had. We enlisted together right out of high school. Kid had dreams bigger than Texas. Wanted to be a teacher when he got back. Said he was going to change the world one classroom at a time. He never made it back to change anything. The IED that took Rodriguez should have taken me too. I was walking point that day, but I'd stopped to retie my boot. 30 seconds. That's how long it took me to tie my boot. And that's how long it took Rodriguez to walk into a death trap meant for me. I should have died that day. Instead, I came home to this, to failure, to watching my life fall apart piece by piece, while Rodriguez is buried in Arlington National Cemetery with full military honors. The survivor's guilt is supposed to get better with time. That's what the VA counselor told me. Dr. Martinez, with her kind eyes and her gentle voice. David, you need to understand that Rodriguez's death wasn't your fault. You can't carry that burden forever. But she doesn't understand. Rodriguez died because I was slow, because I was sloppy, because I wasn't paying attention. And now I'm here, wasting the life he should have had. The sessions with Dr. Martinez started 2 years ago. Twice a week at first, then once a week, when the VA said I was making progress. Progress. Like there's a finish line for this kind of thing. Like one day I'll wake up and the nightmares will be gone and I'll stop hearing Rodriguez's voice calling my name in crowded rooms. David, tell me about the dreams, Dr. Martinez would say, her pen poised over her notepad like she was ready to solve me like a math problem. the dreams. They're always the same. Rodriguez and I are walking through the streets of Fallujah, and I'm behind him, always behind him. He's talking about home, about the girl he was going to marry, about the school where he wanted to teach. And then there's the flash, the sound, the silence. But in the dreams, I can move, I can run, I can push him out of the way, but I never do. I just stand there and watch him die over and over again. It's not your fault, Dr. Martinez would say. You couldn't have known. But that's where she's wrong. I should have known. I was the squad leader. It was my job to know. My job to protect my men. My job to bring them home alive. I grab my keys and head out to another interview. This time it's for a warehouse job, loading and unloading trucks. From leading a squad of 12 soldiers to stacking boxes. The American dream, right? The warehouse is in an industrial part of town that smells like diesel fuel and disappointment. I walk into the office and the manager looks me up and down. His name tag says Frank, and he's got the kind of gut that comes from too many years sitting behind a desk. David Chen? He asks, not looking up from his clipboard. Yes, sir. Respectful but tired. Says here you were in the military. So, yes, sir. 4 years, Army Infantry. Frank nods slowly, like he's processing something dangerous. Any issues? PTSD? Anger management?
I want to tell him that I wake up screaming Rodriguez's name at least 3 times a week, that I can't be in crowds without checking for exits, that loud noises make me hit the deck like I'm still dodging mortars in Fallujah, that sometimes I sit in my car in parking lots for an hour before I can bring myself to go into a store because there are too many people and too many sounds and too many ways for everything to go wrong. Instead, I say, no, sir. No issues. Good, because we can't have any problems here. This is a family business. Family business. Like I don't know what family means. Like I didn't spend 4 years treating my squad like family. Like I didn't watch my family die in a foreign desert while I tied my fucking bootlaces. The interview lasts 15 minutes. Frank asks me about my work history, my availability, my references, standard questions with standard answers. He doesn't ask about the Bronze Star. He doesn't ask about the Purple Heart. He doesn't ask about the lives I saved or the sacrifices I made. He asks if I can lift 50 pounds and if I have reliable transportation. We'll call you if we need you, Frank says, as I leave. I know they won't call. They never do. I drive home through the city, watching people go about their lives. Businessmen in suits rushing to meetings, mothers pushing strollers, kids playing in parks. Normal people living normal lives. People who don't know what it's like to watch your best friend die. People who don't know what it's like to come home to nothing. There's a woman at the bus stop, maybe 30, with a little girl who can't be more than 5. The girl is laughing at something her mother said, and the sound cuts through me like shrapnel. Rodriguez used to laugh like that. Full body, no holding back laughter that made everyone around him smile. You know what I'm going to do when I get home, Chen? He'd say during those long nights on patrol. I'm going to find me a woman who laughs like that. A woman who laughs so hard she snorts. And I'm going to marry her and make babies with her and teach those babies to laugh just like their mama. You never got the chance. I pull into my apartment complex and there's a letter taped to my door. Eviction notice. 30 days to pay 3 months back rent or find a new place to live. $2,100. I might as well ask for $2 million. I crumple the notice and throw it in the trash. Then I sit on my couch and stare at the wall. The same wall I've been staring at for 3 years. The same wall that has nothing on it because I can't afford to buy anything to hang up. The couch is from Goodwill.
$50, and it came with mysterious stains and the smell of other people's lives. The TV is a 13-inch hand-me-down from my sister Jenny, who moved to California with her husband and their 2 kids. Jenny sends me care packages sometimes, homemade cookies and hand-knit scarves and notes that say, "Thinking of you." I never write back. What would I say? "Thanks for the cookies, sis. They taste like pity, but they're better than nothing." The silence in my apartment is different from the silence in Iraq. In Iraq, silence meant danger. It meant someone was watching, waiting, planning. Here, silence just means emptiness. It means the absence of everything that used to matter. My phone buzzes. Text message from Sarah. "Saw your interview at Morrison Corp on LinkedIn. How did it go?" Morrison Corp? I didn't have an interview at Morrison Corp. I haven't even applied there. I pull up LinkedIn and check my profile. Everything looks normal. Same information, same picture, same pathetic employment history. But there's a message in my inbox from someone named James Morrison, CEO of Morrison Corp.
Mr. Chen, I'd like to offer you a position as Director of Operations. Starting salary, $85,000. Benefits included. When can you start? I read the message 3 times. Then I read it again. This has to be a mistake, a cruel joke. I haven't even applied to Morrison Corp. I don't even know what they do. The message was sent 3 hours ago, while I was sitting in Frank's office being asked if I could lift 50 pounds. I click on James Morrison's profile. The photo shows a man in his 50s with graying hair and kind eyes. His background says he's a former Marine, served in Vietnam. The company description is vague. Morrison Corporation, dedicated to serving those who served. I call the number in the message. "Morrison Corporation, this is Jennifer." "Hi, this is David Chen. I received a message from James Morrison about a job offer." "Oh yes, Mr. Chen. Mr. Morrison has been expecting your call. Let me transfer you." The line goes quiet for a moment. Then a voice comes on, deep, confident, with the kind of authority that comes from real leadership, not the fake kind you get from management seminars. "David, this is James Morrison. I'm glad you called." "Mr. Morrison, I think there might be some mistake. I didn't apply for any position at your company." "No mistake, David. I've been following your story for a while now. I know about your military service. I know about your struggles since you've been back. And I know about Rodriguez." The world stops. Who are you? Someone who believes in second chances. Someone who understands that success isn't always about what you've accomplished. Sometimes it's about who you are when everything falls apart. I don't know what to say. This doesn't make sense. People don't just call random veterans and offer them jobs, especially not jobs that pay $85,000 a year, especially not jobs that pay more than I've ever made in my life.
Mr. Morrison, I appreciate the offer, but I don't understand. David, let me ask you something. Do you know why Rodriguez wanted to be a teacher? He wanted to help kids. That's right. He wanted to help kids who came from nothing. Kids who needed someone to believe in them. Kids like the ones we work with here at Morrison Corp. My throat is tight. How does this man know about Rodriguez? How does he know about what Rodriguez wanted to do? What exactly does Morrison Corp do? We're a nonprofit organization. We help veterans transition back to civilian life. We provide job training, counseling, housing assistance. We help people like you find their way back home. I don't understand. Why me? Because Rodriguez recommended you. The world stops. What? Before he died, Rodriguez wrote a letter. He gave it to his chaplain with instructions to deliver it if anything happened to him. The chaplain reached out to us 6 months ago. Rodriguez wrote about you, David, about your leadership, about your character. about how you always put your soldiers first. Rodriguez is dead. He can't recommend anyone. No, he can't. But he could see the future. He knew you'd struggle when you came home. He knew you'd blame yourself for his death. And he knew you'd need someone to believe in you when you stopped believing in yourself. The tears are coming now, and I can't stop them. 3 years of holding it in, and it's all pouring out like water through a broken dam. He wrote a letter, and in that letter, he said that if anything happened to him, we should find David Chen. Because David Chen was the kind of man who deserved a second chance, the kind of man who could help other veterans find their way home. What did he say? What did he write? There's a pause on the other end of the line. I can hear papers rustling. He said, if you're reading this, then something has happened to me. I need you to find my squad leader, Staff Sergeant David Chen. He's the best soldier I ever served with, and he's the best man I ever knew. When he comes home, he's going to think it's his fault that I didn't make it. He's going to carry that guilt like a rucksack full of stones. He's going to think he failed me. But he didn't fail me. He saved me every day we were together. He saved all of us. And when he comes home, he's going to need someone to save him. Please find him. Please help him. Please tell him that I'm proud to have served with him and that I'm proud to call him my friend. I can't breathe. It's like someone has reached into my chest and squeezed my heart with their bare hands.
David, Rodriguez didn't die because you were slow. He died because he was a soldier, because he was doing his job, because he was protecting his brothers, just like you would have done for him. I should have died that day.
No, you shouldn't have. You should have lived. You should have come home. You should have honored his memory by living the life he wanted you to live, not the life you think you deserve.
I don't know how to do that.
You start by accepting help. You start by believing that you're worth saving. You start by understanding that success isn't about what you've lost. It's about what you choose to do with what you have left. I wipe my eyes and look around my empty apartment, at the eviction notice in the trash, at the rejection emails on my phone, at the life I've been living for 3 years. There's more to the letter, isn't there? Yes. Rodriguez wrote about your time together, about how you used to stay up all night when one of your soldiers was sick, about how you gave your own food to the local kids, about how you never asked your men to do anything you wouldn't do yourself. He wrote about the time you carried Private Williams 3 miles to the medic station when he stepped on a mine, about how you refused to leave anyone behind. I don't remember being that person. That's the thing about trauma, David. It doesn't just take away your past, it takes away your sense of who you are. But that person Rodriguez wrote about, he's still in there. He's been waiting for 3 years for someone to remind him that he's worth saving. I think about Private Williams, kid from Ohio who'd never been outside his hometown before the Army, 19 years old with a baby on the way. When he stepped on that mine, I didn't think about it. I just picked him up and ran, carried him 3 miles through hostile territory because that's what you do. You don't leave anyone behind. How many people work at Morrison Corp? We have about 40 full-time employees, all veterans, all people who've been where you are right now, people who understand what it's like to come home to a world that doesn't understand what you've been through. And you want me to be director of operations? I want you to help us expand our services. We're opening a new facility in Phoenix next year. We need someone who understands both the military and civilian worlds. Someone who can bridge that gap.
someone who can help other veterans find their way home. When do I start? Tomorrow, if you want. Your first assignment is to help other veterans who are struggling, veterans who are where you are right now, veterans who need someone to show them that there's still hope. Rodriguez really wrote a letter? He did. And David? He was proud of you. He was proud to serve with you. He was proud to call you his friend. Don't let his sacrifice be for nothing.
I hang up the phone and sit in the silence of my apartment. For the first time in 3 years, the silence doesn't feel empty. It feels full of possibility, full of purpose, full of Rodriguez's voice, telling me it's time to stop punishing myself and start living. Tomorrow, I start helping other veterans find their way home. Tomorrow, I start honoring Rodriguez's memory the right way. Tomorrow, I start living the life he wanted me to live. Not the life I think I deserve, but the life I was given, the life I was meant to live. I get up and walk to the bathroom mirror. The man looking back at me is older than I remember, with lines around his eyes and gray in his hair that wasn't there 3 years ago. But there's something else there too. Something I haven't seen in a long time. Hope. Thank you, Rodriguez. Thank you for believing in me when I couldn't believe in myself. Thank you for showing me that success isn't about what you accomplish for yourself. It's about what you make possible for others. I pick up the eviction notice from the trash and smooth it out. Then I tear it up and throw it away again. Tomorrow, I'll call my landlord and tell him I'll have the rent money by Friday. But first, I need to call Sarah. I need to tell her what happened. I need to tell her that Rodriguez is still looking out for me, even from Arlington National Cemetery. The phone rings twice before she picks up. David? I got your text. Morrison Corp? I looked them up. They do incredible work with veterans. How did this happen? Rodriguez happened. Even after all this time, Rodriguez is still watching out for me. I'm so proud of you, David. I always knew you'd find your way. I think I finally have. Does this mean you're going to be okay? I look around my apartment one more time, at the bare walls and the secondhand furniture and the empty refrigerator. Tomorrow, this will all be different. Tomorrow, I'll start the process of becoming the man Rodriguez believed I could be. Yeah, Sarah, I think I'm going to be okay. After I hang up, I sit on my couch and think about Rodriguez. For the first time in 3 years, thinking about him doesn't feel like drowning. It feels like breathing. I think about the letter he wrote, about how he knew I'd struggle, about how he knew I'd blame myself, about how he made sure someone would be there to catch me when I fell. That's what brothers do. They watch out for each other, even when they're not here anymore. Tomorrow, I start over. Tomorrow, I start living. Tomorrow, I start helping other veterans find their way home. Tonight, I'm going to sleep without nightmares. Tonight, I'm going to dream about Rodriguez, but not the way he died. I'm going to dream about the way he lived, about his laugh and his dreams and his belief that one person can change the world. And tomorrow, I'm going to prove him right.